Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. This is going to be a response to John's 100 subscribers contest, his autograph contest. I saved this video in my favorites like a couple of weeks ago and never got back to my favorites, so I forgot to do a response to it. So no way in the heck I was going to miss your first 100 subs contest, man, so I'm back to do it. And I thought I would pay a huge tribute to you. You probably hear the acoustics in here right now by doing this video in my bathroom, just so I could have this baby right here in the background, which is my awesome Kiss shower curtain. So in here, paying tribute to you, my friend, knowing that you're one of the biggest Kiss lovers like ever. Make sure my camera stays up here. Just 1 second. There we go. All right. So yeah, again, congratulations on the 100 subs. You know, it's really kind of funny because you haven't been around the VC like that long. I mean, really, it's been what, a few weeks. I'm guessing like 4 or 5 weeks or something like that. But yet, I mean, the impact that you've had is just, you know, it's just been absolutely incredible. I've had a great time getting the chance to know you and your collection and your likes and music and you know, just an absolute cool all-around guy, man. And like I mentioned in the message a few weeks ago, you know, awesome addition to the VC. So we're very, very happy to have you as a part of this great thing that we do, because you fit right in and then some. So let me kind of jump right into your response, where you simply asked us to tell like an autograph story or something like that. I don't really have a lot of crazy ones, but I picked kind of just 3 different ones that have a little bit of kind of special meaning to me in a certain way. So the first one I chose here, oh, by the way, it's playing in the background. Since this is your video, of course, got to have a little of that playing in the background. A little Unholy, Kiss Alive 3. So we'll start off with the first one here, which is, this is probably the one that, this is really kind of my first big autograph, like, you know, of a major artist or something like that, especially from one that was, at the time, was considered my favorite band. You know, I never experienced anything like that before. And so it was this one right here, which is Sully Irma, sorry, The Path We Choose. This is kind of his little autobiography. He was doing a signing, and my girlfriend at the time lived out in Boston, and she had me come out there and, you know, meet him and the whole nine. So that was really kind of cool, because I mean, Godsmack still to this day is one of my favorite bands. Definitely one of my top 3 bands that I love to death. At this time, I was like completely obsessed with them. You know, I traveled to like what, 7 different states to see them live and that type of thing. So the thought of actually meeting Sully was just like exciting as heck. And as you can see, he did sign, it's here, you know, to Brandon, stay healthy, travel well, Sully is back in '07. And it's kind of part of the story behind that too, where he put, you know, travel well, was, you know, when I went in and met him, and, you know, it was like, you know, where you're from and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, from Missouri. He's like, what are you doing way out here in Boston? And I was like, I came out here just to meet you. He was like, you know, halfway across the country just to, you know, and I was like, yeah, dude. He's like, you guys are awesome. Like, we know I saw you here, saw you there, gonna see you guys in a couple weeks here, and blah, blah, blah. And so it's just really kind of, you know, really cool in that regard. And that's why he wrote the travel well part in his autograph there. So that was really cool. Cool book too, if you're a Godsmack fan. This isn't something you're gonna read and go, you know, oh, remember the Pulitzer, or, you know, whatever else. But if you're a Godsmack fan, especially going back to the first album, this gives a lot of kind of background on a lot of the experiences he had that went into the writing of the first album. So when you hear songs like, I don't know, like Moon Baby and a bunch of different things, a lot of those lyrics start to make sense when you read the stories where they came from. And then, of course, the people that were there were also like, you know, his people, you know, no autographs, no blah, blah, blah. But then Sully was like, you know, screw you guys, these are my fans. And he took a picture with every single person that came up there, which was awesome. So this was the picture from that day that I got a chance to meet Sully. I'm the tall black guy on the right, in case you are confused. I know we kind of look like brothers there, but you know, like twins actually, identical twins, same color, same height, and everything else. So yeah, that was kind of my first cool story of, you know, I met one of my, like, you know, one of my rock and roll gods at the time, and just groups that I just absolutely loved. Second story was one of those, like, almost like whoa crap stories. I know I've told this before, but it was when I got this autograph from the Melvins, and it was based on a Dave, his signature. And basically, you know, there's this little club I go to that gets some good name bands sometimes. To get to the green room, all the band members come to the front door. So you have an opportunity to meet all of them on the way in or on the way out at a minimum, if they're not just hanging out in the club, which a lot of them do. But anyway, so I'm sitting there and I see Dave walk in, and I'm like, yes. And I'm pulling out my record and, you know, pen and everything, and I go over to him and say, hey, can I get an autograph really quick? And of course he was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And so I hand him the pen, I pull out the record and I give it to him, and he takes the cap off, and he you know, tries to sign it, and nothing comes out. He does it again, nothing comes out. And you know how your mind can work so fast, not necessarily when you put it in the words, but just like what's going through your mind. And I'm sitting there thinking, are you telling me I've actually got a chance to meet the Melvins, and we're standing here, he has my mint copy of Houdini in his hands, and the pen's not working. And I was just about to flip out. But what I didn't realize, and thank God he did, the pen was two-sided, and I had no idea. I had never looked at the other side. And so he goes, oh, let's try this other side. And he pulls it off, and he writes, and it works. And I'm just like, that was the difference between making me totally sick and pissed off for the rest of the year, or making me a happy man for the rest of the year. So I'm so glad it went the happy route. So that's kind of how that signature came across. And if you look really close there, you can kind of see right behind his signature those like marks where he tried to kind of sign it the first time. But oh, I was so glad that worked. I would have been just so ticked off. I probably just would have left the show and not even watched it. And my last story, so that was kind of my uh-oh story, you know, almost uh-oh story. Probably my most exciting story in terms of getting an autograph was when I got Dave Porter's autograph. He signed a couple things for me, but this is from the Best of Sam and Dave. Now, he's not Sam or Dave, but for those who may not know, Dave Porter was a huge writer with Stax back in the day. So, like for example, if you look at the song "Hold On, I'm Coming," you know, everyone knows that. Well, writing credits, that was written by Isaac Hayes and David Porter. If you look at When Something's Wrong with My Baby, Isaac Hayes, David Porter. If you look at the song Soul Man, Isaac Hayes, David Porter. It's like Isaac Hayes and David Porter wrote just some of the most classic R&B tracks you've ever heard in your entire life. A lot of stuff with Stax. I mean, even going to stuff like Sitting on the Dock of the Bay with Otis Redding, Porter. You know, Soulfinger with the Barkays, Porter was involved in that. So, I mean, he was like there for some of just the greatest creations in all R&B. And so the cool thing about that was not only just meeting him and getting a chance to get his signature, but actually having a chance to listen to him talk and talk to him for quite some time. That was really incredible because, you know, he shared a bunch of stuff and he's telling all these stories and everything, and he's like, yeah, you know, Isaac this, and then one time Otis and I, we figured we would do that. We went down here, and then blah, and he's going on and on. And after he went through all of that, I just had to like ask him, I was like, you know, hold on a second. Like, you're throwing around the name Otis and Isaac like we're talking about my friend Bill and Joe. Like, but every time you say Otis, it's like I almost have to keep in mind, that's Otis Redding you're talking about. Every time you tell me this story about Isaac did this and said this and blah, 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 that's Isaac Hayes you're talking about. And it just starts to kind of like blow your mind after a while. And so finally I asked him, I was like, you know, away from, you know, kind of stardom and all that type of stuff, I was like, what was Otis and Isaac like really like? Like, it's just the two of you in a room, buddy hanging out, And he just started going into these stories about their personalities and you know, how Isaac got into just this whole concept of his clothing and all that, and just going on and on. And you're sitting there listening to this stuff like unfreaking believable. You know, you talk about those degrees of separation and all that kind of stuff. It's like, no, we're not talking about a story by story that was written in this article and you read it. Like, you're sitting here talking with the man that was in the studio writing and putting together, sitting on the dock of the bay. Like, he and Otis Redding were there together, and he's telling you what was going on in the mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. So that probably had to be one of my most incredible signatures, was really all that stuff that went around it was incredible. I remember he was telling me about the, I think I told the story before, but I'm only at 11 minutes. I'll tell it really quick. The song Soulfinger, most people kind of know that by the Barkays. And he was saying how, you know, they were trying to come up with something, they were putting stuff together, whatever else. So, I can't remember now, he told so many stories. Was it, I think he's the one that went across the street to this little, like, store where little kids kind of hung out in front, you know, just killing time, whatever else. And he came up with an idea about throwing the kids on the album. So what he said was, they bought sodas and said, if you kids will come over here to the studio and do this for an hour or so, we'll give each of you a soda. And of course, you know, kids broke his head with nothing, like, what, a soda? Heck yeah. So they all go in there, and he's like, so I just sit them around the studio in random places, and I just tell them, you know, just like, don't make any noise, don't say anything, but every time I point to you, I just want you guys to scream, Soulfinger, you know. And so when you listen to the album, of course, you totally hear that, the kids screaming Soulfinger. And like I said, you sit there and you listen to that, it's just like you're hearing a story, but then somewhere in that story it clicks. That's Soulfinger he's talking about. And it just totally blew my mind. So that was an absolute awesome experience. So anyway, J-Man, there you go. Again, congratulations on the subs. Glad I could be a part of your channel. Glad I could be a part of what you do. And totally glad to have you as a part of the VC now, man. It's been absolutely awesome. Like I said in my message the other day, you know, as big as the VC is, sometimes I think it's hard for someone to come in and kind of make an immediate impact. Not impact's the wrong word. To come in and be kind of like noticed and picked up, and, you know, just kind of like you've been there the whole time. That may be a good way to put it. And you've absolutely done that. So it's been great having you aboard, man. I look forward to your 1,000 subscribers contest. All right, take care, VC. Take care, J-Man. We'll talk to you soon.